Welcome back to Let's Automate It, a channel for non-techies on how to use automation, AI, to make our lives simpler, easier, faster, quicker. And today I want to focus on a flow I've hinted at a couple of times. This is a very comprehensive flow. And in a future video, and I do apologize, I've said this in a previous video before, that this video is coming. It is still coming, but before I can get to this more complex flow that we see on the screen now, because this is a channel for non-techies, I need to build up to it. There's a lot in this flow that we need to focus on. And today, I want to look at posting to Instagram. That's these final little two nodes here. Posting to Instagram. We've already done a how to post to Facebook using n8n. n8n is my favorite automation tool. That is the interface you're looking at right now. If you want to get to grips with n8n, if you want to install your own version of n8n, check out my video on how to install n8n. Super simple. And for a couple of dollars a month, you've got a super powerful automation engine that you can use. But enough about n8n. Today, we're going to be focusing on posting to Instagram. And as I say, we've already done a video on how to post to Facebook. Definitely go check that out if you haven't already. I'm going to be jumping ahead a little bit in this video. I'm not going to be rehashing ground we've already covered in how to post to Facebook, because Facebook is owned by Meta. Meta also owns LinkedIn, so they share a lot of tools, and a lot of the ground that we will cover today, I've actually covered in a lot more detail in the video about how to post to Facebook. So definitely go check that out. Pause this video, go watch that, come back, I'll be waiting for you. But today we're going to dive into posting to Instagram using n8n. Now, once we have those skills, then we can start looking at kind of building up an automation flow here. But a reminder, let's have a look at this bigger flow. Let me tease it up like the trailer for the big video that's going to be coming in future. What this flow is actually doing is it's monitoring an RSS feed of a blog post on WordPress. And if there is a new blog, it goes and scrapes that blog and goes and does some checking with Perplexity AI to kind of enhance that blog, make it more special. We go and summarize that article that came out. We develop some image prompts here. So we're basically building out the blog. We're creating some new content and a couple of images. Then we go and post that to Telegram. We could post it to Slack. We could post it to email. It doesn't matter where, but we're posting it to Telegram with this node. And that's just an approval node. If this was going out to a customer, for argument's sake, you could say, hey, here's the content that's been produced. Here's the image that's been produced. Do you like it? Yes or no? If they say yes, then the flow continues and it goes and posts it to Facebook. Here, this flow, it posts to LinkedIn, and I'll be showing you how to do that as well in a future video. And it also posts through to Instagram, what we're going to be focusing on today. Now, I've got some other orphan nodes floating around here. These are a bit of a scratch pad where I'm doing things. Down here, though, this is interesting. I'm starting to play with how we can post to YouTube, YouTube Shorts, etc. as well. Still playing with that to get it working. But let's dive in. Now, the first thing we need to do, I'm just going to click into here. The first thing we need to do is set up some credentials to post to Instagram. So if you're familiar with n8n, you'll know that it saves and creates credentials via tools like APIs, which lets us talk to other platforms. One of the core functions of n8n is to do exactly that. So we need to kind of get some credentials. So this is the access token we're looking for. An access token. So most of what we're going to be talking about today is how to get that access token. So let's click out of that. And I've actually got some notes. I'll bring them up now. And I haven't actually looked at these notes in a little while. So I'm going to be running through this a little bit rusty with you guys. So I might be making some mistakes. We see how it works. But the beauty of this is I don't want to present a highly polished YouTube video where everything looks super simple. I am a non-techie. I kind of force my way through these type of tasks by relentless Googling, relentless trying over and over again to get something to work. And when I do, I like to try and share it. But I want to share the struggle a little bit as well. So with that all being said, let's dive in. Now, as I've said here, we're setting up Instagram. We're setting up an API access for Instagram. And the process is exactly the same as doing it for Facebook for the most part. So definitely go check out the video on Facebook on how we do that. But let's look at these instructions here. Number one, ensure your Instagram account is a professional account and linked to your Facebook page. Now, go and Google how to do that. I'm not going to dive into that. I want to focus on n8n. I want to focus on the trickier stuff, but it's pretty straightforward. Instagram accounts, I think they can either be personal, I think they're called creator accounts, or they can be a professional account. Quick Google for that. Inside the Instagram environment, which by the way, I'm not very familiar with at all, so I would not want to be the expert showing you how to do this, but I figured out how to do it with a quick Google, so you can do that yourself. What is important to know though is that what we're going through today will not work unless your account is a professional account. I don't think there's no fee involved. It's just kind of a status of the account that you have to have. All right. Then in our business Facebook, our Meta business profile, we need to make sure that your Instagram page is being managed by your business profile. Now, again, you've probably picked up and maybe in one or two of my earlier videos, I'm not a big fan of Meta, of the Facebook setup. It's really complicated, but you know, we've got to work with them because they do have such critical mass. So we need to go check that out. So we want to open our Facebook business settings here, which I've actually got open already. We want to head over to there it is, business.facebook.com, and log in. We want to check that our Instagram account is connected to our business manager. So I'm going to go into this humanoid.biz account, which is the one I've been using. So I've clicked into that. Here's the portfolio. And here under accounts, if I go to Instagram account here, I can see I've got a couple of accounts attached to that. I've got a demo account, I've got my Let's Automated account, and I've got one of my other business accounts here. So you want to make sure that's set up. Again, go and Google how to do that. I don't really want to be doing videos on how to use Meta and do these kind of things. I feel it's a little bit outside of my interest, to be honest. I find it tedious. And so many people have got videos out there already. I want to focus on automation and the exciting stuff. So nonetheless, you need to make sure that this is connected up. So tick, I have it connected. Go ahead, figure out how to do that. If you are getting hang of a stuck with that, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try and remember how I did it and make a video on it. But if I could stumble my way through it being very unfamiliar with Meta's tools, you can too, I'm sure. Let's head back to our notes. So we have confirmed that we have it there. In the Facebook app, under permissions, add the Instagram Graph API. Now, the Facebook app, if we remember, and if you haven't watched it again, I think this is the third time I'm saying it now, go watch my video on how to post to Facebook using n8n. It walks you through these steps slowly, piece by piece. So I'm going to go through a little bit quicker today. But you need to build an app in the Facebook app builder, and under permissions you need to add some permissions for the Instagram API, the Graph API to work. So if I scroll back up on my notes, and if you watch my previous video, you'll recognize these notes. We want to go to this URL here and either create an app, which you can do following the instructions in that earlier video, or just follow along with me now where I'm going to take an app we've already created and we're going to look at those permissions. So I'm going to head over to this URL, which I very conveniently have open already, I believe. I think so. Let me check on it. That's not it. No, looks like I have closed it, so no problem. Let's come back to my notes, and I'm just going to open that up. And it's logged straight into developers.facebook.com. And I'm going to go into this app over here called n8n Access. And we're just going to jump straight into that. Waiting for it to open. Great. Okay, so that's the app. Let's go back to our notes though. Let's come back down here to our Instagram notes. All right. So in the Facebook app, under permissions, add the Instagram Graph API. Okay, so going through this quickly. And this is the app. I'm in the app already. I clicked into the app. And if you haven't done this already, underneath here, you're going to see the option to click Setup on the Instagram Graph API. Now, I've already done that. So I believe if I scroll down, yeah, My Products, this is already added. How did I add it? I simply click Setup here, and I think it asks you for a privacy policy and maybe a logo. I think very little information, but it's very easy just to quickly add the Instagram Graph API to it. And as you can see, I have done that already. Let's go back to the notes. Okay, now we need to go to the Open Graph Explorer, and under permissions, we need to add a couple of permissions. So again, I've stressed it and I'll stress it again. Go watch my previous video. A lot of what I'm saying right now seems to be quite rushed, I believe. And it's because I feel like I've covered this ground. So I don't want to reinvent the wheel. Go watch the earlier video. It's all waiting for you right there. So, but let's jump into here. So open Graph Explorer under permissions. Let's go and do that. So open Graph Explorer is here under tools, Graph Explorer. And this, what is going on here? This is an interface where we can test our app. Our app is now set up and we can test it and see if it's getting information. So it's a bit of a testing ground. So we want to go and add some permissions here. Let's go and refresh. What permissions do we want? We want to go in open Graph Explorer, blah, 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 blah. Under permissions, select other and add Instagram content publish permissions. So I'll go here under permissions. We've got a whole bunch of permissions and you can see the ones I've selected already. So we're looking for Instagram manage events. We're also looking for these pages, I believe, we're for the Facebook. And here I've got a whole host of Instagram permissions added. Just click next to it. It'll add a tick, boom, 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 and all the way down. And I've got those permissions added. So I've done that already. And as we can see here, there's a whole bunch of permissions added to this app. This particular app has got Facebook permissions, and now it also has a host of Instagram permissions as well. So go through that, assign those permissions. Let's head back over to our notes. All right, now we need to generate a new user access token in the Graph API Explorer with these permissions. Okay, so we're going to go and do exactly that. Although I may actually skip that step because I have this token set up already. But you're basically going to hit this. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm going to hit generate access token here. It's going to ask me to reconnect. All right. I have a new access token. So here it is right through here. Boom. Now we want to test that it's working. So head back to our notes. That we've just done. From your business meta page, so that was the page right in the beginning, I'll head back there now. Navigate to your Instagram account and copy the Instagram page ID number. Not too proud to say that this step took me a long time to figure out, to understand that I needed to do this, but let me show you what it's all about. So we're going back to our meta. We are clicking into Let's Automate It. I'm just going to use this account, and there is an ID number. So I'm going to click it to add to my clipboard. Come back to Graph Explorer. Now, what we're doing here is testing whether this token is actually working. So this is what we're putting in. So you're just going to paste in here exactly like you've got here, as you see on the screen. Paste in the account ID number of the account the Instagram account you want to post to, right? So once that's done, let's come back here. And then we want to put this /media just after that. And what we're hoping this will do is if I put this in here and now I hit enter or submit, I should get some kind of positive response. Boom, I get a positive response. So I get various IDs, etc., etc. Okay, so that's all working at the moment. Let's just copy this token as well. I just want to quickly put it into the access token debugger. I want to see the lifespan of this token. So I'm just going to pop it in there, debug. And that's going to expire in about an hour, which is not good to anyone. I cover this in a lot more detail in that previous Facebook video I keep referring to. But let's extend the life of this token. All right, you're going to have to put in your password. Hopefully I've remembered that. All right. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I've been given a token that'll never expire. So let's just go and grab all of that and hit the back button. In fact, I just want to check that again. So I'm just going to put this new token into here. And sometimes it puts something on the end. No. And I'm going to debug it again. And what I'm hoping to see, expires never. Fantastic. So I have a lifelong token for accessing Instagram. So I'm copying that. before I go any further, let's go back to our notes here. So we've generated that token. We have tested it, and it's come back with an error. And in n8n create, that's where we got to go. We got to head over to n8n now and create a new open graph credential. So let's see if we can do that. So let's head back over to n8n. And you know what? Let's go and create a brand new credential. Actually, no, I'm not going to create a brand new credential. I'm going to zoom in here, and actually, if I type in here Instagram, sorry, I think it's actually hiding under Facebook. Let me just check. So because this confused me initially, because Facebook in n8n, because Facebook or Meta owns Instagram, we're using the Facebook node. That's why we've got the Facebook logo on these nodes in order to do a job. So I'm going to log into, just not log in, I'm just going to double click on this node. Bear with me for a moment here. I'm just going to set my life up. I've got this credential already running, but I'm going to go and set this brand new token that I've just created. And I'm going to retry connection. And I've got a successful connection. So you've just seen me create a brand new token, go and put it into n8n, and I've just updated my credentials I already had before, my Let's Automate It Instagram credentials. So that's grafting now. That's working. So, oops, I think I forgot to save it. Okay, but what I want to do here is this is part of an existing flow. This flow is working at the moment, so I don't want to muck with it. So I'm actually just going to duplicate these two nodes to explain the next step. So let's just come up here. Excuse me. Put my little note back. Okay, and I'm going to pop in here and let's walk through what's going on with these two nodes. So let's give it context. So these nodes here are being fed an AI post that's coming through, and it's also being fed an image which is being created earlier in the flow. So we're not doing all those steps, as I say, and I promise I will get to it. I know I've been saying this before. I will get to it, but I'll walk you through this very powerful flow. I love this flow, but we'll get to it. But right now we don't have all this information feeding in. We've just got these two nodes here. So in order to kind of create some input information, basically create the raw material for the post we're going to stick on Facebook, I am going to use a set node here just to add in some information. Let's just disconnect those and just connect those up. All right, so what does this want? This wants, well, actually, let's pause here. Let's go back to our notes. Let's stick with the formula, stick with the methodology we've been running through. So we've done number 8 here, and we've created that graph. Okay, now we're actually posting to Instagram. In your n8n, add an open graph node. That's that Facebook node we're busy playing with now, and select the Instagram credential you just created. You just watched me make that step. Now we want to configure this node. We want the host to be default, the HTTP request to be post, we want the API version to be latest, and, well, let me just quickly jump back over to n8n to show you how that is set up. So if we click into this, and we can look at it. There's the credential, host is default, it's a post request, we're using the latest version. Well, actually, since I actually wrote those notes, let's try this with version 20. I've updated my n8n recently, and I see it's pulling in a later version of the API. So let's jump to 20. Now here under node, this is the number that is the ID number of your Instagram account. So I want to remind you how we got that. That's this number here. See, ending in 622. That's that number right there. So let's head back over to n8n. And there it is. I'll pop my node in there. Now, Instagram's a little odd. It does things in 2 stages. So anyway, just follow with me here. We want to have this media here. That's the edge. It's media. Quite a what word means, but it works. Just type the word media under edge. And then under options here, we're going to have query parameters. Now, obviously with n8n, we have to send an image every time. So we're going to have an image URL, and we've got a variable to pull the image URL in. and we have a caption to go with that. So let's go and just set up some feed information for this. So I'm going to go into here, and I'm just going to add in image, and let's add in caption. And let's add a caption going. What are we going to say here? Let's go get an image first. Any image of the internet. I don't know. Let's just type in. Let's go to Google. And I like my rugby theme. I think the last time I did a video, there was a big rugby game going on. So I'm just going to Google rugby again. We're going to come into images, and there's an image. First one. I'm just going to go and visit this web page. And I'm just going to grab the URL of that image, copy image address. Obviously, when we have this bigger feed, we'll be generating our own images via AI, but there is our image coming in. And I just happen to know that image is, I recognize the player, Malcolm Marks scores. All right, so that's what it is. I'm just going to quickly run this. This is just setting up some data, some incoming data. So now I have an image that's hosted on the net and a caption to go with it. Okay, all right. Now we need to pull these in. Now, let's just see if it'll work. I'm just going to pull in the base image here. And I'm also just going to click into that and just pull in the caption as well into those. Oh, it didn't work for some reason. Let me try and pull that in again. There we go. Okay, I know this is going to fail, but what I'm actually looking for, let's just see if this passes information over to me. No, it doesn't. Really what I'm wanting to pull in here is the actual... Let's do it this way. Put in that little tag here. I want to get the actual name, not this when it says JSON.image, like it's referencing just the node directly in front of it. But I actually want to reference the node before this node by its proper name. And this proper name is called edit field. So I'm just going to put a new line, and this is the image. I'm going to pull the image in here. Actually, that's not working. Give me a second here. Yeah. This should actually give me... Anyway, that's working. I was trying to get fancy here. Let's just... I'll cover this in more detail when we actually do the bigger flow that I keep promising. But we'll pull those things together. Now, what's happening here? So I'm busy working on this node at the moment, right? And that's an Instagram node. This is also an Instagram node. Now, to post to Instagram, we need these two nodes. The first node creates what they call containers. It kind of prepares the ground on Instagram for us to be able to post this. So we're not going to post straight away. We just put these details in here, and it's going to create the container, prepare the ground to speak, so to speak. So let's just run this, and let's see if we get a positive result. Great. Now, it's not posted yet. Nothing's actually been posted, but now we can use this second node. And actually, I've noted here, create Instagram container. And now this node, we're going to post it. Okay. Now, it's important we need to use the exact same. You can see it's the same URLs again. So I'm just going to delete that out. And I'm going to come back to here. And I'm going to pull in that URL. It's important that this is exactly the same. When we set up the container, we told Instagram what's coming. And if we set up the container with the previous node and then we send something slightly different, it's not going to work. So you want to make sure that whatever this variable is returning, it must be absolutely identical. The result here must be exactly identical to what was used when you created the container in the previous node. So we've got to do exactly the same for caption. So let's just do that. And then we're just going to go back to that previous set node that we had the data, and there we have it. So we now have a creation ID. That is what we got from the previous node. The previous node created this creation ID, which is kind of the container to which we can now post our image URL and our caption. So we are using a credential that we've already set up. There's everything there. Well, let's try again this with I haven't tried this before. Let's try this with the latest API. That's our node, that is our Instagram account we want to publish to. Of course, this could be a variable, but I'm only posting to one Instagram account, so it doesn't need to be a variable. So I've just hard coded in here, but you could just change this to an expression and put a variable in. But let's test setup. And that now says we've got a result. So I believe I have my Instagram account open here. Yep, I do. So let me just refresh this now. And boom, there it is. How many times I do this, I get a kick out of it. So if we go into it, and we have our post, and there's our caption, Malcolm Max scores, and there it is. We've got Malcolm Max diving over the line, scoring a historic win over the All Blacks to win the Freedom Cup. That happened yesterday. So that's fantastic. In fact, while I'm here, though, I'm just going to delete this out. I don't want this on my account, so I'm just going to delete that. And we're done. And that is that. That is how we do it. If I come back here, so let me summarize quickly. We're using the set nodes just temporarily for this particular flow, but however you're getting your content, your caption, your image, whatever it is, that's what this node is all about. So you can replace it with anything, and we're going to replace it in due course with this entire workflow that's actually generating our social media post for us. But what we're focusing on today is these two nodes, and we had to go and get a Facebook token in order for this to work, and that's what we've run through. We had to go and get this token. Now we've got that token. Now we need to configure this Instagram node correctly, like it is, and set up our caption and our URL. And then this would run to set up our container. The container is kind of the destination on Instagram that we're then going to fill up with that image URL, and then Malcolm Mark scores. That's our caption for our Instagram post. Now, by doing this, we can now automate posting to Instagram. So now this opens up a whole fantastic world of being able to convert blog posts. You could screen grab things on the fly. You could feed all kinds of things into automation. Use AI and automations to create content, and then be able to post it directly onto Instagram without ever having to open Instagram, without ever manually having to do something. This will do it for you. So really exciting. So right now we can post to Facebook. That's this node. We can post to Instagram, and very soon I will do a video on how to post to LinkedIn. That's coming as well. Enjoy. I hope that was useful. Like, subscribe if you enjoy the channel. We've got a community called Let's Automate It as well. There'll be links in the description down below where you can go join the community. These recipes where you can just cut and paste these workflows directly into your n8n will be ready and waiting for you, so you don't have to physically do all these things if you don't want to follow along. So go check that out, and like and subscribe, and more content is coming, and I really hope you find this useful. Until the next video, have a fantastic day, evening, morning, wherever you are. Catch you later. Cheers.